going to show you how to import your own brushes, especially brushes made with the masking in mind. And I've made a few in Photoshop just to show you as an example, and in future these will become an asset pack that you can buy and import. So I'm just going to jump over to the user categories and click on one of these spaces here. And you can see that I can load in any image that I might have downloaded. For example, I have here some pixel art that I made, and I can load that in as a brush. So here's the image here, but you can see the tones are all changed to these new ones. And if I slide this to the left, it shows me the original tones. I'm going to click that to plot it down and put this back to new tones, and you can see I can change a lot of this to be a different kind of style. Even the dark tones can be made a little bit brighter. And you get a kind of unique look to all of this. I can also choose to not have any of the tones, and it will blend with the base tones or the layers below it. Eventually everything would become the base tone, but it's good to have just a subtle variation in these tones anyway. Okay, so there you go, that's one change there, and I could go ahead and change it again and make a completely different mood to all of this. Almost a winter scene there. And the good thing is I can save these colours by clicking in one of these swatches, and it just records it. I right click to recall it. So let's just right click to go for these grayscale tones here, and there you can see that, and I can bring these up a bit higher as well, or lower, to get a nice looking image. I'm just going to undo and put that one down. So you can bring in any brush and basically replace the blue tones for this colour, red tones for this one, and green for this. I'm going to jump over to Photoshop where I've made some brushes like this. I'm going to export these out. So a good way to export in Photoshop is to use the export as, because it will crop the images down, and it will use the names of the layers as the file name. So you see it's automatically cropped away the excess pixels as long as they're on their own layer. And I'm just going to export these out to a folder where I'm working on some extra assets. So I'm just going to make a new folder that suits this. I'll call it Ghibli. So I'm going to make a Ghibli style art asset pack, and just select the folder, and that will save those out. Back into background designer, and I'm just going to press backspace to clear everything, and come over here and click and choose one of those. So I'm going to choose this cloud one, and I'll call it Ghibli Cloud 1. It would be nice if I could immediately adopt the file name. I'll look into that. But you can see this is the cloud came in looking different because it's adopted these colours. Now if I move this to the left, we can see the colours that I used to make it. And now I can basically change all the tones. If I right click to recall this and move it so that it's the new colours, you can see we get bluish tones. But I can go ahead and change this up. As you can see, we see a big preview of it here on the right, which helps to decide what colours you want to make this. It's quite a faraway looking cloud, and the good thing is you can save this swatch, but it will also stay there for the future and any new brushes that I load in. And there you go, it's immediately matching the style, and it would fit in place for making your background. Let's add in the other two. I'll just copy the name here, why not? Hopefully I'll automate this later. And there we go. So I'm just going to use backspace, and let's try and go for a sky that works well. I'm just using the space bar to cycle through different skies, but struggling to get something that I like, so I'll just color pick these and make a nice sky like that, or maybe even the reverse. That's nicer. And I'm going to use backspace to clear everything, and F2 will reset any of these values. So if I did change them, F2 will reset those. I'm going to put down some of these just to see how they look, and they look pretty good. I think this could be a bit more orange, and that looked pretty decent there. So backspace will clear everything. Now if you want to get a random type effect, if you hold down Control while you click brushes, it makes a little yellow highlight, which means it's going to pick from any four of these brushes when you click at random. Now it's very unpredictable, that's why it's random, but you can see you get a nice effect there. And also, if you want even more random, you can add random flip X, which means it's going to also flip them horizontally, as you can see, at random. Also some scale change and rotation, and this is the rotation value, so it's got a little bit there, and we can really make this a lot if we wanted. For clouds, it only has to be a small value. So with that done, I can enable wrap mode, and wrap mode means if I click to the side here, it's going to draw the other half of the cloud on the other side, so I get this tileable effect. It's a good idea to shrink your clouds the further away, and to start the furthest away, so that you overlap as you come forward, you scale up. So I'll just use Shift to drag some of these out. Scale up a little, Shift and draw, scale up, Shift and draw, scale up, Shift and draw. Shift and draw will plot many plots as you draw like this, but be mindful that the plot counter goes up pretty fast and there's a limit there. You can undo by holding down Control Z, that will undo as a chain, or Control Alt Z and hold down will redo. So I'm going to scale up again. Let's just start going to the sides a bit, and I'll just put in less of them, and maybe a few more in the foreground like that, and we get this kind of sky effect. Okay, I'll just make a few more down here, and even a few small ones in the back there, using Shift again. But I get this interesting looking sky, and the cool thing is I can press F3. F3 means that anything that I've drawn will get new colours, and I can go ahead and change all of these to be something different. And then even change the gradient to be something a bit more sinister and dark, like that. Kind of nice to experiment a bit. Now I can press F3 again to toggle it off to go back to the colours I had. So it either uses the colours that I used when I plotted them down, or it will temporarily swap out for these to see how it looks, and if I like it, I'll press F4, and that will commit all these colours to be these colours now. And now we're good to use our normal colors again. Now I should actually make some buttons for that, but it's a feature in progress. Okay, so now that you've laid down all these clouds, you might want to experiment with the new pixel shader modes. So if you press F9, it's going to switch to this Commodore 64 look, and it's going to try its best to make the colors of that machine and the pixel density. F9 again is a little bit more of an advanced mode that I've created that adds more colors and double resolution. And then F9 again is a Sega Master System, but yeah, it's really up to you if you like those kind of things. Press F9 one more time, it cycles back round. So that's pretty much it. You can use spacebar to randomize the sky, tab to randomize the colors of the clouds, and the first couple of clicks of tab it will try to match the document. And let's just go ahead and whack some more clouds down. So if you do make any brushes, just bear in mind to keep these kind of values. If you're making a brush, use a black pen to start with. And then work on a blue tone, lock the pixels, add some blue, and then you can shift over towards red. That means you're gradually going into one of the new colors, and then even more towards red, until you're completely at red. That's a completely new color. And for the bottom you can have green. There's a little rim light there like that. And if you want green to blend with blue, just shift it over towards blue, maybe half opacity, and you can bring a little bit of that in there. Once you've got that, you can pretty much use that as a brush. So let's call this test brush. I'm just going to export this. If you use export as, I'm pretty sure it also crops it. Or yeah, the quick export rather. Quick export as PNG. Pretty sure it crops it, so we'll just check that now. Might be a handy way to export back into Background Designer. I'm just going to load that brush in. So test brush, yeah, as you can see it cropped it. Call this test brush. And there you go, it's automatically adopted the colors. You can see if I go back to the original tones, that's basically what I made. Let's just turn off the scale and things. And now I'll go for the new tones. Click on one of these so we can see a preview. Anything that was black, I can change for a new color. Anything that was blue, again, another new color. Anything red, and anything green, and we get this unique looking cloud. Now you can press 3 for some opacity and just draw in some clouds like this. Obviously that works better with the random flip X and scale, so we get something even more unique. Maybe 8 for a bit more opacity, scale up as it comes towards you, and get a nice little fluffy cloud land there. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoy using Background Designer. It's $1 for the alpha, and I'm currently working on the beta version, which will be a while in progress, and the price will go up. So I recommend you buy the alpha now so that you get it for that $1 price, and you'll get the beta for free. Thanks for watching. Bye.